Hi, I'm April Cummings, a real estate agent with Coldwell Banker Cayman Islands Realty. On this edition of the show, we will visit one of Cayman's most treasured beach spots and take a look at the transformation that's planned. We'll also visit with John Broad, the artist who created the iconic Man on a Bike series. But first, we're going to visit a tiny home in our Cayman Spaces feature. So we're here at 40 Bay, and this is the fabulous Marianne Cosa, who's agreed to share her home with us today.
Thank you.
Talk to me a little bit about this house. I wouldn't say it's a true tiny house, but it's definitely got a small footprint. Tell me a little bit about it.
We were inspired to do a small house because we had been sailing and cruising for a few years, and in 2005 to 2007, we did a clockwise circumnavigation of the Caribbean, the two of us on our boat. And so we were used to small spaces, and we wanted a house that kind of had that feel. So we should have named it the Boathouse, I think.
So tell me a little bit about the design of the house. How did this come about?
Well, it's funny because Peter was looking at small houses, and the first thing he was thinking of was a container house. So he saw a version where there were two containers kind of side by side, and so we took that idea to our architect, Louis Mussington, and he then made a house. I said, no, I don't want containers because it'll feel like I'm living in a trailer. With that idea, so it actually is two offset rectangles, the shape of the house if you were looking at it from above.
Is there anything you can tell me about some of the design features on the outside?
Our deck is curved, first of all, and again it has kind of a feel of a boat deck. So when you're up on the deck, it's curved as if you're on a cruise ship or something. It's kind of not too far off the size of a lot of condominiums, only you've got the bonus of having your own property and a beautiful garden, and you're on the water, and you don't have condo fees.
There are a lot of nice touches to the exterior of this house. I mean, just the front door alone. Talk to me a little bit about how that came about.
Well, my husband has a thing for large size things, even though our house is very small. He loves large doors. So, and he had bought some lovely teak and mahogany, or I think the inside is mahogany. So he actually built the front door, and it's very tall, and as our back doors are also tall. So when you enter, you just have a feeling of space.
Bedrooms, bathrooms, how big is it? Tell me a little bit about that.
Basically a one-bedroom house with one nice bathroom, and there's a loft that has a sleeping area up there as well. It's an open loft.
So talk to me a little bit about the kitchen space here.
We've put everything so that within that galley kitchen, which is boat language, everything is within reach. It's a really nice one-person kitchen. All the shelves are open, and so it's dishwashers there, the cupboards are nearby, the sinks there, everything is so close, so that everything it's just very practical, and it just works really, really well.
How important do you think it is to incorporate almost careful curation of bits and pieces into when you have a space like this?
Well, that's a really nice concept. We just don't want too much stuff. We want to keep it simple. So I don't want pictures on every wall. Probably at our bedroom is where most of our paintings are. We want them detailed, but not too much. Not too much. It's just too easy to have too many tchotchkes around, and we just like a little bit more of a simple look.
There are also some marine influences in the interior here. For example, talk to me a little bit about the staircase.
So the staircase, they're interesting stairs. They're alternating tread stairs, which if you're trying to save space, you've got really two options. A circular staircase, which we both hate, and the alternating tread is interesting because there's one tread per step, so it can be quite narrow, and it's very steep, but not quite like a ladder. You know, sometimes you see ladder steps. It's much more comfortable than a ladder type stair.
What do you want people to know about what it's like to live here?
Well, I guess the main thing is it's such a relaxing space to be. We just love being here. We often rent out the house with Airbnb or VRBO, and our renters love it too. It's not a place to go if you want to have a wild nightlife, but it's relaxing, it's calm. You're surrounded by nature and water. It's just so lovely having water on two sides, and on the canal, the main canal. Certain times of the year, the egrets just go by in flocks, and it's a real thrill. It really is. And we've got a little kayak, so it's easy to hop in the kayak and just either paddle around in the canals, or you're really close to North Sound. We've never done a lot of trekking outside the canal area, but we've had guests that have taken their fishing rods and paddled through the mangroves, and so it's nice.
Oh, it's a great lifestyle.
It is. We love it here. We absolutely do.
As we said farewell to 2018 and welcomed in 2019, it seemed an appropriate time to take a look at how the real estate year wrapped up numbers-wise. Hi everybody, I'm April Cummings, and this is your Cayman Life Property Minute. I'm a real estate agent with Coldwell Banker Cayman Islands Realty, and all of the statistics are from the Sariba MLS. There were 1,479 active listings in the MLS, with 812 listings sold for the year at a value of over $572 million US. At year-end, 52 listings were pending, valued at over $41 million US. Let's take a look at the breakdown now. There were 777 residential listings, listed on average for US $1.4 million, on the market for an average of 505 days. You heard it right, more than a year. Now that's usually a sign that pricing is a bit higher than it should be, especially if you want your property to sell more quickly. But it can also be a sign that financing or getting a loan has become more challenging as well. In the residential category, there were 34 active listings for multi-unit properties, valued at over $1.2 million US. We saw 612 active land listings with an average price of more than $817,000. Some of these have been on the market for more than 2 years. Of course, with averages, if you have a lot of really high-end properties and fewer super affordable ones in the mix, it can certainly skew the numbers. But at the end of the day, properties move more quickly if there are buyers ready and able to purchase. And the better the deal, the more likely they are to buy. That's a quick look at 2018 by the numbers. That's your Cayman Life Property Minute, and I'm April Cummings. Remember, if you're buying or selling property, or you know someone who is, just drop me a line at april@caymanlife.ky. I'd love to help. With the help of a few friends, MLA Barbara Conley is working to transform one of Cayman's most loved beach spots, Smith Cove. She's working to make it even better and more beautiful than it already is.
So we can put the picnic tables all around here, just for people to just hang.
Georgetown MLA Barbara Conley is a woman on a mission.
See, they're all intertwined and all of that.
We caught up with her working with a group of volunteer prisoners to clean some of the underbrush at Smith Cove Barcadere.
This is going to be a park that all of the families in Cayman can come and enjoy. We're starting the improvements today. We're actually clearing the underbrush. So basically we can see from the road all the way to the water.
Smith Cove, also known as Smith Barcadere, is a treasured beach spot in South Sound on Grand Cayman. It's a place to swim, for families and tourists to gather, to snorkel, to enjoy. Government recently acquired the lot next to the cove, which Ms. Barbara saw as an opportunity.
If this whole thing is open here, we just put picnic tables around and stuff. My vision was to actually just create a beautiful park, and it's a large area, so why not provide a park for all of us, the people of Cayman, and visitors alike to come and enjoy.
Ms. Barbara's vision is to do what she can to enhance what we already know and love, adding more restrooms here, a proper parking lot, and even cabanas to provide shelter.
Everybody can hang out and just underneath the trees, you know.
She is also determined to make the area safer for those who want to enjoy it. Hence today's focus on clearing the underbrush.
This will all be cleared, and we're going to preserve as many of the trees as possible. They're not cutting anything down that's not supposed to be, you know. There will still be tree coverage throughout the park, but just to basically clear the underbrush so that it provides a very clear and open space. And basically that will also provide safety and security for people, that we can actually just see right through the park, right to the water, and provide a very beautiful scenic view.
Financial Services Minister, the Honorable Tara Rivers, loves to celebrate the new year with the community. And that's why once again this year she threw her annual community event. But this time, along with the food and art and other things on the menu, we had a surprise guest.
The theme of the event from the very beginning was Old Time New Year.
Well, I'm here today because I think this is a wonderful thing to do to kick off the new year, a fun day, out in the fresh air, doing sports, keeping fit, and I love to keep fit myself, so I thought it was a really nice thing to come along and join in a really nice community event.
This is one way that the entire West Bay community can come together, start the year off with wholesome family fun activity.
It harks back to my own youth as well, because growing up at school in the UK, we used to do egg and spoon races, three-legged races, and those things have a big impact on you when you're a child. So I think it's really nice because it brings out the child which is still there in all of us.
For me, it's about making sure that we have our young people connect with the Cayman of old and help our older people reconnect with their childhood. And so it's about making sure that the games that are played here, some of the young people would never have played them before. Some of the older, young at heart, know it and love it and look forward to the activities geared towards the older crowd. But it's a way to celebrate our culture in a healthy way, but also in a fun. It's about having fun, starting the year off, having fun, having a good time, and as I said, culture in action. And I think that's what today is really about.
Now to a wonderful residence in Crystal Harbor, which has direct access to the North Sound. Not only that, it has the latest smart home features. It will do what you tell it even from miles away, whether it's lock the doors or turn off the lights. Let's take a look. John Broad brings the vibrancy and beauty of the Cayman Islands to life on canvas. We caught up with him recently at Art Nest, where he was passing on his gift to others.
It is the Caribbean, so try and be quite colourful.
I'm sure they recognise something cultural and something historical in the image.
It's nice to have some of that blue coming through.
Years ago, John Broad decided to create what has turned out to be an iconic series of cyclist paintings. They can be seen on the walls of many a home here and abroad.
So we're painting the big shapes first.
He got his inspiration from a man riding down the road in West Bay.
He always used to look very holistic, whatever he wore seemed to colour coordinate. So he had this magnificent presence on the bicycle. It's like spiritual.
I'm going to mix a bit of red.
Well, it's very Caymanian in theme and style. Each one has a different character, a different dress, different appearance.
Again, you can move the brush in different directions.
This class of would-be artists have come to learn how he works his magic.
Try and leave some blue coming through.
They follow along with his suggestions, but it is important they use their own imagination to create their own version.
You don't need any water on the paints.
They can do their own thing. They don't have to stick with my style or my colours or the way the cyclist looks. They can create their own.
We do have some brown here.
John loves teaching folks how he works,
And these are all shortcuts.
because he knows from personal experience what painting can do for a person throughout life.
I get a lot of satisfaction out of teaching children and also adults. In this world, there's a lot of stress.
Try and leave some blue coming through.
Art relieves a lot of those anxieties, the day-to-day struggle. Well, it's kept me going through highs and lows of life. I always fall back on my art and it kind of lifts me up.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Cayman Life. Remember to visit us online at caymanlife.ky. Not only do we have the very latest Coldwell Banker listings, we also have a wide variety of videos celebrating Cayman Life. And remember, if you're interested in having a free market analysis of your home, give us a shout. Thanks again for joining us. I'm April Cummings.